Hello there, I'm Kai, and this is Neverwinter Nights, Lords of Terror. You're gonna hear me clicking in the background as I talk about the module and create my character. So this is a Neverwinter Nights module that is based heavily on the Lords of Terror campaign from Diablo. So that would be Diablo 1 and Diablo Hellfire. So I'm kind of quite excited to get into this. We're going to be making a human. Male is fine. It's wanting me to select a portrait. I'm just going to pick one. We're going to be making a cleric. I love clerics. Clerics are fun. They get special spells and all sorts of fun things they can summon and all sorts of stuff. They also have divine spell casting. Of course, lawful neutral is fine by me. Abilities, let's go. We got 27 points to spend. Let's go 12 in strength. Do we have to raise our... I don't think we'll be raising our dex because we'll be wearing heavy armor. So the dex penalty will not really matter. It's neat to have, but it's not super useful. We won't be using ranged weapons either because it's not going to be useful. Let's go with a 12 there. Let's go with a 14 in wisdom. Let's bring charisma in this up. Now I think our spell checks are in charisma as well. So let's go to 10. Let's bring this up to 12. This up to 16. That gives us the ability to bring us up. Okay, so what I brought up is I got... Currently, my stats are 12. Okay, so my current stats are 14, 10, 12, 16, 12, and 12. I think charisma's going to help because it'll help us turn undead, and I don't need it mostly because most of the expansion, most of this thing is also there's a lot of undead here, but it's mostly demons, so it's not going to be super bad there. And I think this is a decent spread to start with. So packages, let's just configure. We could do our own package, but I don't really care for that. So we got a whole bunch of skills here. We got animal empathy, which we cannot use. It's not a class skill. We got 16 points to spend. We got animal empathy, praise, bluff, concentration, craft armor, craft trap, craft weapon, disable trap, heal, which we will take. We'll take the maximum amount of 4 in heal. That'll help us heal ourselves. Hide, intimidate, listen, lure. I don't know if I'll be lure because we got. Well, yeah, let's take 2 in lure. That'll help us identify more items. Move silently, open lock. That is a non-class skill, but I will take... I won't take that. We will take the max in parry. Perform, we can't use. Persuade, which is a class skill. We won't be using... There's not a lot of conversation in this mod. It's mostly fighting, so Persuade's not useful. Pickpocket, not useful. Ride is not useful. Search is useful. It's used to detect traps. I'm going to take at least 2 points in that. Spellcraft is able to identify spells. We can take 2 points there. Spot, taunt, tumble, and magical defense. I think that's good. Heal. What did I take? Heal, lore, parry, lore's for identifying objects, and spellcraft. I think that's good. All right, so we have 2 feats we can choose, and we got a bunch of feats. We started off with armor, proficiency, heavy, and light. Heavy, light, and medium. Mounting actions won't be using. Quick to master, which I think is a human feat, which grants us an extra feat, so we have 2. Shield proficiency, turn undead, and weapon proficiency, simple. Now, which one does that one cover? Simple weapon proficiencies. What does that cover? That covers clubs, daggers, maces, sickles, spears, morningstars, quarterstaffs, light and heavy crossbows, darts, and slings. All right. So, what does combat casting do? It's adapt to casting in combat, does not suffer the 4. Ooh, I kind of think I might take that. What does it recommend? It recommends combat casting and extra turning. Divine allows us to care. I don't care for extra turning because I know the mod pack a little. I know the mod a little bit, and I don't think we're going to be using that one a whole lot. What is luck of the heroes here? plus on bonus saving throws. Power attack grants +5, but a -5 to that. Okay, that's bad. We don't do it. Strong Soul grants us bonuses to will and saving throws. Toughness, that's cool. Let me look at the other weapon proficiencies. Battle Axe, Greatsword. I think we're also going to be taking martial weapon proficiency as well. And that basically the idea right now I'm thinking is I want more weapons. We need to be able to use more weapons and combat casting, so we don't take a penalty when we have to cast right next to an enemy, which there will be spells that I will want to cast next to enemies. Not a whole lot. So our domain. What does the healing domain do? It gives us empowered healing, and what bonus spells do we get? Do we get any bonus spells? Cure serious wounds and heal. Okay, that's cool. And can we pick one domain? Is it one? What is war? Cat's Grace, which is bonus of 1 + 1 per 5 levels to dexterity, constitution, attack damage, and attack rolls and damage. Ooh, I kind of like the war domain. Especially since we're going to be down in a dungeon most of this. I think that might be the way to go. Cleric's strength domain is divine strength and gives us divine power and stone skin. Oh, I kind of like that one too. I'm torn between strength and war. I think I'm going to go with war. What does it recommend? It recommends healing and sun. What does sun do? Sun gives me bonuses to turn and gives me searing light and sunbeam. No, I think we're going to go strength and war. We're going to be a battle cleric. This will grant us Cat's Grace and an Aura of Vitality. This grants us some good stuff. So, with that said, that's a pretty decent build setup we've got. We're going to go customize our character, and that's going to customize how they look. We're going to give them a tattoo, make them a little buff dude. And the starting clothing, honestly, robes are fine. We're clerics. We're making our hair color a dark brown. Skin color, we are tan. So do tan. I don't care for the tattoo colors. Don't really care.
Attack, I say.
Oh no, that is a terrible voice. Attack! I don't like that voice either. What about this one?
Attack! I say attack!
Okay, I hate that one. That one's terrible.
Time to spill some blood.
Nope, that one's terrible too.
By my will, attack! Faith shall grant me victory!
Oh, I like that one a lot. All right, so our name, we'll make this Kylie, and their last name's Kane. We have a spot for a bio, but I'm not going to fill it out. And let me check the deity. Our deity will be, I don't know the deity names, so I'm going to call it Not Diablo. That's our deity, by the way. Not Diablo. There we go. And we are Kylie Kane. And we're about to get started. Are you ready for this? I'm ready for this. I'm excited for this. Let's get started. I think this does have an intro video. The video did not play. It didn't run. That's fine. That's fine. So we start with a little quest at the top here on the top right. We start outside of what looks to be Tristram, which is the town that you play in Diablo. So it says you wipe the sweat off your brow as you reach the outskirts of Tristram, the place of your birth, the town you grew up in. Before you decided that your life was empty without a sense of adventure. After your parents died many years ago, you left this town seeking more than just a dreary life in a small town. We clicked continue. It says you do not exactly recall why you've decided to come back here. You've enjoyed the past few years away from Tristram, seeking and discovering more of the world than what was told in casual tales shared by the occasional peddlers who visited the town when you were a child. It seems as if something has drawn you back here. Maybe it was a sense of nostalgia. Maybe even the desire to share your experiences with the people you have known for so long. but something has beckoned to you to return. Back to the place of your birth. Back to Tristram. We're going to press 1 and continue that the quest chain. It says, these thoughts have played around in your head when you notice a curious exodus of people from the town on your way here. Perhaps the man sitting by the campfire can tell you what has been happening. So in front of us, we have a small river to our right, or a small stream to our right that seems to go out into the sea. And I'm actually going to do some options work here. We should be able to change this into chase cam so we can actually get chased. And there we go. That allows me to, that allows the camera to turn with me. Not super useful whenever you guys are listening to this, but super useful for me. So to our right, in starting orientation, we have a creek, a stream that is running out to the main river. And to our right, we have a man named Themon, and his pack ox. They look to have been carrying or traveling with a small caravan, a small pack wagon, and they're standing beside a campfire. So we're going to walk up to him and find out what he has to say. Actually, we can talk to the pack ox. Oh, it has a... Oh, you hear that? He has a sound effect. That's pretty cool. So let's find out what Themon has to say. Wait! I know you! You once lived here, didn't you? That is Themon. I guess I did. It's been a long time. So we have two options. We can tell him who we are, and we can lie. I'm going to tell him who we are. I guess I did. It's been a long time. My name is Kylie. What are you doing here? Well, everyone else is leaving Tristram. There's been so many bad things happening nowadays that most of the townspeople have fled from the village. Ooh. So there's some bad things happening in the village. Well, we know that now. So we have a couple things we can ask him. We could ask him what's been happening and if there's anyone left in town then. I'm going to ask him what things have been happening. All sorts of grisly stuff. People have been killed off by cloaked riders in the north and some other creatures I can't even begin to describe. And some time ago, we lost many of our good men in that cathedral. Such a tragic thing that was. We have only one option now. The cathedral. What happened there? Oh, I see you've been gone too long. Well, I'm sure you've probably heard of King Leoric's son's disappearance and the king's advisor, Archbishop Lazarus, leading a group of able-bodied men to find the prince below the church, where he says the king's son might be. We only have one option here, and it is, then what happened? Then what happened? Only a handful of men came back from there, all critically wounded, some dying. My friend Farnham was one of the men who came back, and his sanity hasn't been the same since then. He refuses to talk about what happened back there, especially about the Archbishop Lazarus. Rumors had it that the Archbishop either died in the labyrinth or he betrayed the town of Tristram and led those men to their deaths. So we have three options now. It says maybe I should ask Farnham about what happened at the church. The option from the first conversation piece, where if there's anyone left in town, and what did the king say? I'm going to go, what did the king say? King Leoric is dead, Themon says. He has gone mad at the loss of his son and has ordered the death of many innocent people. The royal court has to dispose him in the worst possible way. These lands have really suffered hard times. So we're now going to ask, maybe we should ask Farnham. So we said, maybe we should ask Farnham what happened here. No, please don't ask Farnham about that day. Can I make this bigger fired? Yeah. So I said, maybe I should ask Farnham about what happened here in the church. The Themon says, no, please don't ask Farnham about that day. He cried and wailed the last time we asked him about it. It would be better if you don't mention the Archbishop to him for the sake of his own sanity. So we have three options. The first option really is a mean option, like really, really mean option. It says nonsense. It'd be fun to see him crack. Oh, so did scurry away like rats. So did they scurry away like rats after that incident? That's a really mean one. I don't want to go with that one. So let's go. Option 2 is I'll remember that. Is there anyone left in town? And did the king say anything about these events? I'll say I remember that. I'll say that one. There's a handful of people out there. I don't know if they'd be willing to stay after all this trouble that happened to the town. And I'm going to say, then why are you still here? And he says, actually, I'm giving away most of my belongings to lighten the load of my wagon before I head east. Since there seems to be quite a few adventurers coming to Tristram all of a sudden, I saw it as an opportunity to be generous. Well, we can ask him what he has, and, yeah. Well, what do you have? That's the idea. I'm actually almost out of things I can give. The last adventure passed by being so demanding and all. I can give you what I have left, a part of my own personal belongings. So we have a couple options here. We can tell him that we appreciate what he can give me, which will give us a little starting package. We could tell him to dole it out. Give it to us. We're not that kind of person. We can also tell him I don't need anything right now. You probably need it more than I. Apologies. I punched my microphone. I'm going to say that one. So we told him that. We told him that we didn't need anything. And he says, I wouldn't give away things without setting aside something sizable for myself. Are you sure you don't want it? So I have the option again to say, sure, I'll appreciate what you give me. And I'm going to take that option. So what he gave me, the journal entry had been updated. He gave me, the journal entry is called The Coming of Darkness. He gave me 1,000 gold coins, or GP, gold pence. He gave me a potion of cure serious wounds. He gave me a potion of cure moderate wounds, a potion of cure light wounds, and a potion of cure critical wounds. He gave me a bottle of ale, a scroll of raised dead, a scroll of resurrection, and a healer's kit. Healer's kits are super useful in this game. Well then, here you go. I would have to be leaving in a moment. Is there anything else I can help you with? So we have a couple options. It says, I think I can manage now. We have that option, and we can wish him luck. Or we can say to stop by Luth Galen and avail to some courtesan company before he sets sail. I think I'm just going to wish him luck on his trip, because as a cleric, I would not tell him to go get laid. That's just not how my character would do. So he says, I said, I think I can manage now. I wish you luck on your trip. Are you headed straight east from here? And he says, I might. Maybe I'll do a stopover here and there. Maybe spend a night or two at Luthgolian before I take the ship across the Twin Seas. Anyways, I'm sure this place is better than here. I'm going to tell him, I guess this is farewell, and may the light guide. May the light guide you as well. Just keep a lookout for anything that goes bump in the darkness over there. Need to ask me more questions? Do so before you go to Tristram. Be leaving in a few moments. Goodbye. So our alignment actually shifted to good. And we gained a few experience points. We got 250 experience points. So in the dialogue. And let's take a look at what's in our inventory. We start with some cleric robes on us. We get some studded light armor, which I will equip. That'll upgrade. That actually gives us a skill check armor penalty and an arcane spell chance failure. I don't use arcane spells, so that's not a problem. We have a small shield. We're going to put that on. Let's look at our stuff. Look at ourselves here. All right. So I don't like the face. Face looks absolutely terrible. It's fine. It's fine. I'm a chunky boy. So we can also equip our mace. There we go. And we've got a torch for use inside the dungeon. And so the way the skill inventory system works in Neverwinter Nights is it's like a Tetris game, right? So I've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory that basically I can stack and move and kind of set up in a way that it's going to kind of fit in the smallest of spaces. And therefore, I can carry more stuff. Other than that, I have everything I mentioned before, including the resurrection spell and the raise dead spell. And I also have 1,075 GP. That's what we have in our inventory. And it's time to head into Tristram. So let's walk in and take our first steps in to here. So we also have some spells. We have War Domain Powers, which is Battle Mastery. And our Strength Domain Powers. I'm going to cast both of them. I'm aware that I will need to recast them later. But we've got them now. And that gives us Strength increased, damage reduction, damage increased, Dexterity increased, Constitution increased, and Attack increased. And as far as spells that we have, let's go take a look at our spell list here. Cleric spells. I need to open up spell list, I think, which should be here. Let me go grab it real quick. Now we have a spell book, and we need to prep our spells. So the spells we're going to take is we're going to take light for lighting up place. Resistance is going to... I think we're going to take... Our spell slots will be resistance. Light, and I think I'm going to take Cure Major Wounds. And then for first level spells, we've got 3 slots for that as well. So we're going to take Summon Creature 1. Summon Creature is amazing, by the way. I'm going to take... How long does Magic Weapon last? 1 hour per level? Yeah, I'm going to take Magic Weapon. And I think I'm going to take either Bless... or Divine Favor. 1 turn per level. So really, I got to cast that right as soon as I start. What does Sanctuary do? Shield of Faith. Shield of Faith is 1 turn per level. I'm looking at my spells here and going, A lot of these just 1 turn per level, so it's not very long spells. You cast them right as the thing starts. You know what I could take? We can take... I was gonna say, could we take Doom? We could take... Ooh, that's cool. We'll take Inflict Target Wounds. Inflict like... Alright, that's our spells. Let's head into the city. So, listen to that beautiful music there. That is Tristram. So we just walked into Tristram. We're on a dirt path, and we're walking up to a bridge here. And we can see crops to our right. Small crops, not very large. And it looks like we can see Farnham in the distance, just ahead of us. So we were told not to really talk to him about the event. But I will talk to him to see if maybe there's something he knows. Let's find out. So he said, "Can a fella drink in peace?" And I'm going to be like, "Hey, Farnham, it's me. Don't you remember me?" "Huh? Kylie? I knew a Kylie once. Who was a good person. They left us a long time ago." So we have some options to just be mean to this guy, and I really don't want to be. So I'm going to tell him, "I'm Kylie. I come back. Do you recognize me?" And he goes, "Kylie could have helped us in the church. Kylie would not abandon friends, right?" And I'm going to tell him, "Why are you drinking?" And he basically tries to offer me some ale and then asks if Kylie will ever come back. So he just stood up. Why did he stand up? He just walked away. What the? Not sure if that's normal. So now that we've entered Tristram, I think that's a very good spot to end this first episode. Not a whole lot went down. We talked about character creation and entered Tristram. I think the next episode will be all about speaking to the townspeople. A lot more dialogue, of course. And getting to know our townsfolk, including the legendary Deckard Cain. So you're not going to miss that. Again, my name is Kylie. Thank you for listening. And I will catch you next time. Bye-bye. This cast was brought to you by me, Kylie Kane. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/theversian. You can also find me on Patreon at patreon.com/Kylie Kane. If you want to watch me live throughout the week, I also stream to Twitch, twitch.tv/Kaido Kane. If you really like this show, please leave me a comment on Spotify or whichever podcatcher you use. It really helps the channel and, well, grows our analytics a bit. With that said, thank you for listening, and have a fantastic day.